There have been some very good quality mineral wagons released recently, but out of the box they are far too clean to run on the railway, so they will require weathering. With so many to do, I needed to find a simple way of weathering these wagons. The first step with all the wagons was to spray the chassis with a light coat of frame dirt. This has two effects. Firstly, it takes away the plasticky finish of the chassis, and secondly, it provides a key for the weathering powders which will be added next. I then applied weathering powders to the wagons using a mix of different rusts and dark colours. These were applied randomly so that no two vehicles would look the same. The first weathering technique I used was just a simple wash over the body of the wagon, which in this case was a life colour smoke wash. A couple of applications were used, and the liquid was worked thoroughly into all the corners and detail of the wagon and then left to dry. And in true television fashion, here is one I made earlier. The second method was to paint on a coat of a suitable base colour, and this time I used life colour dirty black. This needs to be left until the paint starts drying. A little longer would probably have been better in this case. Then, using cotton buds, you can start removing the excess paint with thinners. This has the effect of pushing the paint into the corners and then highlighting the detail on the wagon. And again, here's one I made previously. The third and final method that I used was to dab paint on with a random sponge. This gives the effect of dirt or coal spattering along the wagon sides. I also applied some rust colours using the same technique to give the effect of rusting. Different rust colours along with the black can be used together in order to give a variation in the colouring of the wagons. And here's a completed wagon using the dirty black sponging. The three different types of weathering I will use here are interchangeable, and indeed some wagons have a mix of more than one type of weathering. Also, because I am using acrylic paints, any mistakes or over weathering can easily be rectified with the use of thinners. So finally, to finish off this section on weathering, here are two completed wagons where a combination of the techniques previously outlined have been used. So now we can take a look at the completed rake of wagons as the train emerges from Highfield Tunnel, hauled by a 9F loco.